Whew. All right. Hello, everyone. This is Shu. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is gonna be hard. I was not planning on going live. Oh my. All right. This is. I'll try to keep this short for my sake and your sake. But I had a emotional afternoon, and I talked to some of you today, this evening already, and some of you were with me this afternoon and probably wondering what happened. She looked fine when we were together. Well, I looked fine because I didn't want to bother others, or I maybe didn't want to. Sorry, this is hard. I wanted to support others who were with me this afternoon. But as I came home and sat here, and my daughter and I were finishing the movie we saw this morning, I can only imagine. And then I was sitting there thinking about my own afternoon and things that I have heard and had to process in the past, 3 hours. And how this not only affects me and affects my kids, it affects others. And I was sitting there and just something, as thought keep coming back, it's someone needs to hear this. Someone else needs this. So those of you who know me know that as much as I love serving, as much as I love supporting others, tooting my own horn is not something that I like to do. And so I'm not on here to say, oh, watch me, or, poor me. No, I'm on here to encourage someone else, to inspire someone. Because also, if you know me well enough, you know that everything I do kind of is motivated by that desire and that passion to support others and to inspire others to be that all they can be.
Shoot it.
Yeah, and that's my daughter in the background. I had to, and now tell her, just literally, she just found out about 10 minutes ago about what I'm going to share with you guys here. So most of you who've been on my page know that I had a stroke back in November of 2017, and that the stroke had affected the left side of my body, and that I came a long way. 7 months ago, I was not able to talk. 7 months ago, I was not able to walk. 7 months ago, I couldn't remember names of friends that I've known for a few years. So I came a long way, but I still have a long way to go. And I know if not on this earth, at least in heaven. And you also know, those of you who know me, for some of you probably never seen me cry. So I'm trying my best here. I know this is going to be hard for a lot of people who know me and love me and care about me and for me. But like I said, something keeps burning in my heart that somebody else needs to hear this. So that's what I'm sharing. So I've been in physical therapy. When the stroke happened, I was in a rehabilitation hospital. And then I came home and got physical therapy, speech therapy, occupation therapy at home. Then I started after that doing the same therapies outpatient, going to a clinic to do all that. And like I said, I came a long way. I'm still using my walker, but I can walk, quite some distance with my walker. And I can move my arm. I can obviously talk. I'm here talking with you. Yes, my memory is not, ideal. I just thinking yesterday actually, we're in the store, and my daughter told me that she was going to go look for something. And it wasn't within like 2 minutes. My friend who was with me came and said, "Where's Hope?" And I stared at her, and I couldn't remember what my daughter just told me 2 minutes ago. So that's my reality. That's my life. My short-term memory is ideal. I mean, I knew my daughter was safe. She was in the store and she had a phone. We could reach her. But again, all this to say that as well as I'm doing, I'm living a new life. Definitely not the life that I had before. And I don't regret any of it, honestly. those who know me know that I support and work with people with disabilities. And yes, in my family, even before the stroke, we have many diagnoses. So we are not afraid to be weak. We're not afraid to be called disabled. We're not afraid to face what life throws at us. I mean, if there's nothing that I've tried to do as a mom, as a counselor, as a consultant, is to show others that you can live beyond whatever life throws at you. You can live beyond your diagnosis. You can live beyond your trauma. You can live beyond your pain. You can live beyond your past. So that has not changed. And I'm here today because I was at therapy this afternoon. And I go, right now I'm doing 6 hours of therapy. It's 3 sessions every time I go. For physical therapy to work with my strength in my legs and all that. And then I do occupational therapy to work on my fine motors and strengthen my arm and my vision. And then I also do speech therapy. You'll say, well, you're talking. Why do you need speech therapy? Well, the speech pathologist does more than just help me talk. They help me with multitasking. They help me with planning stuff in my brain, as planning my thoughts, planning, everyday life things, schedules for my kids, for myself. But the speech pathologist also works with, help me with my memory. So, and my processing, sometimes people will talk to me. I hear them right then, and I totally understand what they're saying. But it's later on, maybe an hour or two later, that I actually put 2 and 2 together. And although before, those things will just come to me quickly, but I'll be in a totally different conversation. And I'm like, oh, dang, that's what they meant. This is why this did not make sense. So yes, this is my new life. I can walk with my walker, but I still cannot drive. I'm not allowed to drive yet. And it's been 7 months, and it's hard, especially being the only adult in my house and having kids who need to go to appointments. And I have appointments myself, and it's summer, and it's hard to be contained, inside. So yes, life is not perfect. Our lives are not perfect, but we embrace it gracefully. There's a fly in here and it's bugging me. We embrace it gracefully. We are thankful for the life we have. I am thankful for the life I have. And like I said, I'm not afraid of disability. I'm not afraid to be seen as disabled or to be seen as weak. But we also live in a world that has systems that keep people tied up to things are not ideal, systems that sometimes prevent people from receiving help. And that's where I'm coming from with what I'm going to share right now. I went to therapy today, and they do this I don't know how often they do these evaluations, when you're in therapy, just to see how much progress you made and where you are. And long story short, I was told that Thursday, which is the next time I go to therapy, will be my last physical therapy session. And I heard the therapist, and I sat there, and I'm like, there's so much more I want to do. There's so much more I want to keep working on. There's so much more that still need to be done. That was me sitting there. But we live in a system where the insurance companies only pay as much as depending on the progress you're making. And I really say progress in quotation because we can evaluate that progress in different ways. So because medically, this is as far as physical therapy has brought me, where I am right now, that I can take a few steps without my walker, but my balance is not good, so I still need that walker. That it's hard for me to do steps because, my left side and my right legs don't operate on the same level. The left side is still weaker than the right one. So, but again, being told today that I only have one physical therapy session because this is as far as physical therapy could have brought me. After 7 months of intense therapy, this is as far they could take me medically. So this is my new baseline, and this is where I am. This is my reality, and it's no longer medically, it's no longer temporary. This is permanent, meaning this is as much recovery as I could get from, since my stroke. So the insurance is not going to pay for more physical therapy. And when I go on Thursday, they're going to evaluate again for, I guess, speech and occupational therapy and see again if I'm making that progress for the insurance to cover more sessions. So as I left there, I was sitting there still, and I texted a few friends. I text maybe just a handful, I think. I text my dad. I text my stepmom. Because right now my boys are there, and they're in Pittsburgh. And then I text, I think maybe 3 over friends who are very close, and they're not just friends, they're family, they're my prayer warriors. And I text them, I said, this is what I'm being told, and this is it. And I text one friend from my church as well, actually, or church secretary, who's like a novel mom to me. And I didn't tell my daughter right away. She was at a basketball camp, so we had to go pick her up. I didn't tell her when I picked her up. I didn't even tell the friend who was with me, who drove me to and from therapy, because I just wanted to get home and be able to process this and, share with them a little later and not right in the moment, because I just needed time as well. But as I was sitting here at home, I've been convicted that I need to share. So you say, well, if you're not afraid of disability, why are you crying that this is your last physical therapy? You're fine with it. Yes, I am fine with it. It might sound contradictory, but I am okay not being able to walk. I'm not okay not being able to drive. I remember even when the stroke happened, I was being airlifted. I was literally in the helicopter. I couldn't talk, but I could still text. And I got my phone and I was texting friends to pray. And I told one friend, even if I cannot speak ever again, I will still praise him. Because I seen enough of life. I've seen enough, I know I'm only 34. I only turned 34 in April. So I know I'm very young compared to many people who are around me and maybe be watching this. But I was not worried about speaking because I know there's so much technology out there that I've seen my friends have. I've helped others, acquire that technology that helps them communicate. So as long as I could communicate, I didn't care if it was, through my own mouth, or if it was writing it down, or if it was a computer speaking for me. I didn't care as long as I could communicate. And for the first few weeks after the stroke, I was writing things down, as that's how I could communicate. So I was not afraid of not talking again. And as much as people have been praying, and I also prayed through my entire journey, but I'm here and I can literally put my hand on the Bible and say, I never, ever prayed and asked God to help me walk again. And I know that's going to be a shock to some. It's like, wow, didn't you believe God enough to do that? Oh, I believe God can do anything and everything. But here's why I never prayed for God I never said those words. Because for me, it was not about walking. It was about having access to the things I needed. If I have to walk with a wheelchair like I was before, walking with a walker, or walking with my own 2 feet, it didn't matter as long as I could get to the place I needed to be. So yes, I'm not afraid of disability, because it's not about whether I'm disabled or not disabled, whatever the term we use in a society. But for me, it was being able to communicate, no matter how I did it, was being able to have access to what I needed for myself, for my kids, no matter how we did it. So those are the things I was praying for. I was praying for my kids that God would take care of my kids, because I was in the hospital and gone for almost a month. And even as I came home, even when I was in the hospital, I prayed for strength every day, strength to face this life that I have, strength to be the best mom I could possibly be, strength to be the best counselor that I could be, that to keep doing the things that I was called to do on this earth, no matter how I do it. Sitting in a wheelchair, walking in a walker, or crawling up the stairs. It didn't matter how I accessed the things, as long as I had the strength to do what I needed to do. So yes, I'm not afraid that this is my last, before last physical therapy, and this is as far as they could bring me, and this is it. That's not what I'm afraid of. That's not what even makes me cry or what my eyes water and all that. But what I heard when she said it, it wasn't about me. The first thought that came to my mind was my kids. And as I said, when I was thinking, I have so much more to do, I have so much I want to do, it was not for me. It was for my kids. For the hope that they had that I would be able to do X, Y, and Z, and take them places, and go up the stairs and see them and wish them good night. That's what hurts. it's being able to tell a 6 and a 4-year-old that this is it. My 12-year-old is older, and she had developed a faith of her own. And she, yes, it sucks. She might say that, but she will understand and embrace this better. But it was just a thought of having this conversation with my kids, saying, the younger ones, Mom cannot drive you to the park. Mom might not be able to drive you to the pool. That this is where we are. And because they had the hope that Mom is going to get therapy, and everybody's telling them, Mom's going to get better, Mom's going to get better. And I got better. But it's having to tell little people that this is a life, and we are going to make this, as always, we're going to embrace this with grace, and we're going to make the best out of it. And I'm thankful that I have great support. In the midst of all of this, I am supported in amazing ways, and God always comes through for me. And it's just last week I was finally able to have people who can help pay. I was able to hire people to help me. So I have people that can drive me places, and help me to do things, and, they're paid to do it. And that's a blessing in itself. But it's having to help my little ones process this. And they have, my 2 boys, for those who know them, they have things of their own, challenges of their own that they have to deal with. So they're very concrete thinkers. So things that, are abstract don't always come easily to them, and they're not easy for them to process. So this is going to be hard. And I was sitting there this afternoon, I just know somebody not to hear this. So I'm not sharing that to say this is it's going to be hard for my kids, that we have to make permanent decisions, or maybe not permanent, long-term decisions, because this is going to be a permanent situation. But it also just encourage someone else. I don't know who you are, or what you're going through, or what you're dealing with. But I know one thing, that if you let everything that comes at you stop you from living, then you're most as dead. And I'm not saying that to be rude. I'm not saying that to insult anyone. I'm saying this because I have seen it in my own life, my life of others. It's when you start it's when you start embracing life that you're dead, that you died. And it's not just when you put to the ground. No, there's a lot of people who are alive but dead inside, dead to their dreams, dead to whatever life holds for them. So I hope that, through all of this, all this mess I'm trying to explain, and maybe not even articulating in the way that makes sense. But I hope that through my life, through my experiences, through my story, through this short video, that you will choose life. I started choosing life when I was dealing with mental health issues and depression and anxiety, and I chose that I was not going to die. I will live, and that just reminded me of a verse. But anyway, I said I will not die. I will live, and then I'm going to live life to the fullest. And that was from an emotional standpoint. And that never changed. As I grew as an individual, as I grew in my faith, as I grew and discovered who I am, that reality of choosing life is even so present. Every single day I choose life. Not just life because back then I wanted to physically die. No, now I'm physically alive, but I choose to live life to the fullest, no matter how I have to do it. So I hope that you, whatever you're going through, can look at your present situation, or even maybe you're looking at your past. I don't know what you're dealing with, but I hope that today, what's today? June 18th, 2018. And in my time zone, it's 6:38 p.m. I hope in this moment that you will make the decision for you, for those you love, for those who matter to you, that you will live instead of just surviving, that you will embrace life no matter what comes your way. Because it's not what life throws at you that matters. It's how you recover from what life throws at you. Living, it's not getting up each day and saying, I'm checking one more day off the calendar. Living, it's embracing all that you are, who you are, and who you were created to be, every single second of it, and really making each moment count. So that's all I wanted to share today. And I've shed my tears. I have to go on calls. I have to go on. I have friends waiting for me online. But that's what I wanted to share today. I hope you choose to live life to the fullest, no matter what happened yesterday, no matter what happened a minute ago, because you are more than conqueror. You have all that it takes to live the life that you're given. And my occupation therapist has this plaque, or it's actually just something she posted, it printed like a piece of paper that's posted on our desk. And it says, life is not, I'm going to paraphrase, but life is not about playing the right cards, but it's about playing well with the cards you've been dealt. So I don't know what cards you're holding there. I have lots of cards. I have trauma in my past that I know. Those are the cards I've dealt with. I have being a single mom. Those are the cards I'm dealing with. I have dealing with my own, physical illnesses. That's something I'm dealing with. I have, raising kids with special needs. That's another card I'm dealing with. But I choose to live and embrace every moment of this. And no matter how I have to do it, like I said, it's not about the walker. It's not about doing steps. It's not about driving. But it's about having access to the things we need. And I'm thankful that I have people to help me have access. But it's so sad that we live in a system that limits people's potential and ability because of what we see. I choose not to live with what I see, but what I believe. And I know the title of my video said, "When I'm afraid, I'll trust you." And that's what it comes down to. Where do I find the strength to do all that I do and still be cheerful and still, I know in the same video I'm crying and I'm laughing and I'm cheering you on. That's just life. I learned to embrace all of it because I have seen God time and time and time again pull me through some of the messes that I never thought I would ever overcome. Pull me through some of the strongest difficulties that I could never see a solution through. And it's not that I live life, bold and courageous every second. No, I live life leaning on him. And that's why I put that, and that's actually part of a verse. When I'm afraid, I will trust in you. Because I am afraid. I'm always afraid. I'm afraid of what tomorrow will bring. I'm afraid of, how my kids will embrace this. I'm afraid of, right now we're still looking for a house to move to. I am afraid of a lot of things. But what I'm not afraid of is of what my future will be. I'm not afraid of what it will bring because I don't know what will happen then. But I can, in the same thought, in the same moment, I can stand secured physically, emotionally, and spiritually because I know who I believe. I know who holds my life. I know who holds my future. Just like the song says, because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Not because of my strength, not because of my knowledge, not because of, all the wits that I have and, the wisdom I think I have. No, not because even I'm a great mom or a great counselor. No, I face tomorrow because I know from deep inside of me, from the bottom of my pain, I know that there is a better tomorrow for me because the one who created me had said it, and that settles it. He says that he has good plans for me to give me a hope and a future. So I can embrace my problems. I can embrace my pain. I can embrace my rejection. I can embrace my brokenness because I know at the end, he makes all things beautiful in its time. And he gives me beautiful ashes and he turns this brokenness and makes it something beautiful. So that's it. That's where I find my strength. I know most of you have asked, how do you do it? That's how I do it. If I never said so clearly, this is it. So I don't know. I'm not sitting here trying to push my faith on people. And those who know me know that I never do that. I have friends who don't believe at all and have known me for years and years, and we're still very good friends. Because for me, it's not about using my tongue or preaching at people. It's for me. It's living the life that I know is worth living. And the life that I know to be worth living is living in Christ, for Christ, and through Christ. And as long as I keep living through him, for him, and with him, then I have done my part. And whatever vibes or whatever energy or whatever transformation that comes out of that into others, however that impacts others, it's out of my control. But I'm going to be as authentic as I can be. Yes, because that's all that I know to do. I bring my brokenness, I bring my weakness, because I know that builds bridges more than anything else. And I hope that this will encourage someone else to choose life, to be bold, and to live the life you've given, because you're so worth it. You are worth it. All right, that's all I got for today. Now I'm going to go give my daughter a big hug and then get on the phone calls that I have scheduled for this evenings. All right, love you all. And thank you for supporting me from near and far, and through all the prayers, through all the support that you give me in one way or another. I love you all, and I'm so thankful for each one of you in my life. All right, God bless.